don't follow it like that, I respect it all. You know what I mean? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up, y'all? We back. Straight from the Gutter Network presenting again the podcast, episode 80. DJ Dawsonier would not be on tonight. Prayers up, prayers up, prayers up. Had to go handle some business, one of his sons. But of course, y'all already know, man. Everything's always gonna be good, man. We always blessed up over here. Listen, man. Straight from the Gutter Network is sponsored by Sensational Smiles 845. Y'all can catch them on IG at Sensational Smiles 845. You can go catch them at their physical location, Middletown, 2 West Main Street, Middletown, New York. Y'all see the banner? Come on, man. We're not gonna keep doing this week after week. Oh boy, man, there's some ish going on. There's some ish going on. Trying to see where I put my phone so I can tell you, y'all. Literally just came through the pipeline. Donald Trump announces that the U.S. has bombed 3 nuclear sites in Iran. And then he said, in quotes, "Now is the time for peace." His actual post on his official Twitter page states, "We have completed a very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airscope. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site. Follow, all planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter." And I'm gonna leave that at your door. Who gonna go first? Oh man. Yo, shout out to Yum Earth, organic chewies. Shout out to Bam. I'm gonna send Bam the contents in the back after the show. This is organic candy that tastes just like Starbucks. These joints is fire. This is not a sponsored ad at all. This is my true thoughts of me eating my candy, saying this is fire.
Yeah.
Yo.
Wow.
Oh. You know what?
I honestly didn't hear.
What the number said?
I honestly didn't hear anything.
Now let's talk.
Hey.
Yo, I fucking love Joe, yo.
Hey, that's the bro.
We be thinking, yo.
That is the bro.
Yo, did man really go boom? All right, let's talk, y'all. Yo.
I mean, but no, I believe it was trying to be conversations beforehand. You know how it is. You try to tell a person, you try to talk to them, and they still want to continue poking the bear, make little threats and whatever like that. But I don't know the whole situation, so I'm just giving like based off what you said. And hey, you know what? So sometimes you might have to, drop a little bomb or two before a person listen. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not well versed on exactly what happened right now.
Right.
When I tell y'all, this literally just came across the table. Like, literally just came across. So,
but they did threaten him, though. I think I saw they threatened him. I think I saw they did threaten him, though. They basically told him, like, if I'm not mistaken, I probably have to ask hubby, but they did say to him that if New York don't mind their business, they was gonna do something. So I guess the Queens and Trump said, "All right, got you."
Money.
So he's from Queens and Gemini, so you already know. That's a threat to us. Don't threat us. Don't threat us.
Yo, that's that. Don't threaten us. Shout out to Ye, another damn Gemini.
Is that a threat? Nah, don't even put us in a what is that? Don't even put us in a like a hypothetical or whatever certain situation. Like, yeah, what if we do? Nah, that's a threat. That means you
Already,
thinking about doing it. You just want to see what the hell I'm going to say. Nah, you threatening me. That's
Mm-hmm.
it.
you try to check my temperature. I already done bombed you.
And you see what Kanye West did? He pulled up to the courthouse, sat there for 7 minutes, and then walked out. Didn't say nothing. I heard y'all. Basically, what he did was, I know y'all talking about me. Y'all won't say it to my face. I'm out. Bye.
Pretty much.
All right, Jessica. You are the newest addition to the Yin and Yang podcast, and you seem to come with a more level-headed approach, a more political approach, a more so. I would love to end this topic with your take on this.
Unfortunately, I feel like no matter who was the president, World War III was going to come regardless. Because we really don't know how to mind our business. Whatever's going on over there really doesn't even involve the U.S. But somehow everybody comes for us to be the save it all, to be the hero. And we're wasting a lot of money over there that needs to be put back into the country. But everybody always comes to America because America is the first country of freedom. And we fought for our freedom. We didn't even have to buy it or anything like that. So everyone uses us as the great white hope. So unfortunately, we are Captain Save-A-Ho. And now we got to save them hoes. For lack of better understanding.
You know what? And I totally agree with that. I totally agree.
Oh,
Captain
shit.
Save a Hose. Save
Oh,
everybody.
my God. Well, KV says there's a lot going on here. Israel is supposed to no longer exist and be dissolved, says the ICJ. So America owns Israel on the low. America and Trump have French Riviera plans for the Israel state. Then he also did in this case, so they're gonna pop on whoever pop because it's ours now. All right. And Joe says that's the headphones. Joe was waiting for the headphones. Joe, don't be playing.
I told you. I told you. There's people. You got fans out there. My people, besides Joe, they tell me, "Yo, where's Jeff with the headphones?"
Yo, like that's a staple now. The headphone got to be a staple.
Pretty much.
Wait, and she's smiling too with the headphones. She's smiling
Oh, it's
with the
lit.
headphones, you guys.
It's lit. It's lit. Listen, that's how it's supposed to be. But yo, you want to know what's crazy? We went from you're not marrying that cracker or you're not marrying that nugger to now it's going to be yo, you're not marrying that motherfucking AI. Ain't that some shit?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yo, let's take a listen to this shit, and then we're gonna talk about it and see what y'all thoughts are.
Love with a robot. I'm smitten. Are you? Let me tell y'all something. You want to know a man I will never cheat on? Gerard Pookie Thompson. Let me tell you, my man. He be making me sound real professional. He support everything I do, and I love him. Like, I know we used to see those movies, be like, oh my God, like, how could somebody fall in love with a robot? I'm smitten. Are you kidding me? Like, listen, if Chat asks for my hand, y'all can hang it up in my DMs because it's me and Chat against the world. Like, I'm the Bonnie to his Clyde. Are you kidding?
Kidding me?
It's sad. It's sad.
Oh.
I'm not surprised, but it's sad.
Wait. I know y'all can see the comments now as they come in live, right? I don't have to put them up anymore. But this nigga right here, I gotta put it up. Yo, Joe.
She looked like the type.
Yo, what is wrong with you? Yo, I'm like, don't. Let's not even elaborate. That's hilarious.
First of all, me and my homegirls are
Oh
mad
shit.
that her nose ring was crooked. I'm sorry. I noticed that. Her nose ring, her
Y'all
bullhorn
are
wasn't even.
so petty.
Me
Eddie.
and my homegirls are very, very mad about the fact that her bullhorn was slightly crooked. I'm sorry. Yes, we pay
So
attention.
you're
I pay
not mad at the
attention like
fact that
that.
she has one?
First of all, well, not mad if she has what?
The
A
actual
bull?
bullhorn? You're
No,
not
I'm
like
not
the
mad.
other one?
First of all, I'm not mad about that because there's different people from different parts of the world, tribes, and everything else that got
That is
markings and
true. That
everything
is
else.
true. That
So
is true.
I don't
Fact.
know. I can't say things about piercings because I have
But she don't
piercings
look about
too.
thrives though. She don't look like
Right,
she on
but
thrive though.
I
Just saying.
had piercings too, like tongue rings and stuff. So you know what? I'm not knocking it. Go off, sis. But my
He
thing
said
is
go
that
up.
you in love. First of all, we knew it was going to happen. Didn't Elon come out with robots and people was asking, "Can you fuck them?" There's people in the world like it's a show.
Wait, no, bam, no.
I
No, I'm
I
not doing this
know,
with y'all niggas tonight. I'm
I
not doing
know,
this with y'all tonight.
I know.
KV,
Her
KV, KV,
husband off.
bro.
But Gutter, to add on to the foolery, there's a show out there. I think it used to be on the TLC channel called My Strings Addiction, and
Yeah.
there's a guy who was in love with his car.
Yeah, he was.
And then the car broke down, and he got a new car. Is in love with that. There was a girl that was in love with a tractor. You got people that are in love with things that that they can control. I guess I don't know what it is, but chat, EBT, GPT, whatever it's called.
Chat EBT
Yo,
for black folks.
I actually know some people that like control so much that will burn down the whole house just to control it.
Just the
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean,
Burn the whole shit down.
but she ain't got to worry about getting pregnant. She ain't got to worry about having no kids. Unless she gonna have chat EBT
I don't think she
kids.
worried
I
about
don't
getting
know.
pregnant now. You see her?
I'm just saying. But she talking about she act like chat EBT is gonna ask her to get married or something. But hey, go off, sis.
I mean, can't she just
know.
prompt it to do so?
You first of all, I know.
What
Bitch,
she called them?
But me,
Charles Pookie Thomas?
Charles Pookie.
No, Gerard Pookie Thomas, I think she called him.
It's the Pookie for me.
Yo, not the Pookie.
First of all, what's the Pookie? It's the Pookie for me. But my thing is this, first of all, this to let you know right now that ain't enough men in the world. Because bitches is now falling in love with freaking bots. There's no more men in the world. That's it. There's no more men. Whatever lady you got in your life is lucky to have you. I'm lucky to have a husband at this point because it must be no men available in the world.
No, it's over. It's over. It's over for that. But yeah, I want to give a major shout out to Barbados. I'm not gonna play the whole video, but I'm just gonna give you a little taste of what Barbados is doing.
Will you fix me up? Will you show?
Hold on, let's play that back. There you go. That's one of the video.
Before the lonely cry out, will you fix me up? Will you show me hope? The end of the day you're helpless. Can you keep me close? Can you love me most?
We are so excited to welcome our sisters from across the waters from Ghana as they talk to us about FUBA, an amazing award ceremony that will be happening in November.
I'm honestly so grateful to be here in Barbados at this time. FUBA Awards is going to be coming to celebrate Barbados, to celebrate Africa, to celebrate the diaspora and the power that we have when we unify. So we're coming here to grow, unite and build Africa.
We here at the BTMI recognize the importance of Africa as a
Now, Shout out to Barbados. No visa move. That's gonna be dope. But with that being said, back to the tomfoolery. Jim Jones, Apple,
That nigga bored. That nigga just one of that nigga is bored. Oh my god, he's so fucking bored.
So, hold on. We're gonna play a couple of things, okay? And then we're gonna give y'all our take on these things, okay? I'm gonna play a totality of a section of an interview. Then I'm gonna play something he said specifically. Then I'm gonna play the actual numbers of the chart, okay? Let's take a listen.
He saw a clip on Instagram where a young kid was comparing you to Nas and saying that you got
that's my young boy.
Big hits.
He's wild.
Yo, he looked to you. He learned how to wear the BB Simon belt from you. He got his swag. Like, how crazy is that? Because in my era, you know what I'm saying? Nas is like a god.
In my era too. I mean,
so to be compared,
let me that young kid out. Let me.
He was young, and we loved that he loved Jim Jones. I want you to break it down.
Let's break this down. I admired Nas, but remember Nas' first record, The Barbecue, came out when I was in 11th grade.
Yes.
So Nas was my idol when I was young. Like you did, came to dressing, the wordplay, the music, everything. I was a superior Nas fan. Period. I'd never take that away from him. But then as I got in the game, you got to realize that your rivals would be idols, and not to take anything away from that. I developed my own style and my own lane that these kids start to gravitate towards the same way I gravitated towards Nas when I was younger and things like that. It's a whole different generation. We talking about 94, 93. I was in 11th grade. Nigga, it's 2025. There's a big gap there, you know what I mean? And I want people to understand that. So when Shorty's telling people that, yeah, he's 20-some years old, that goes to show the part of the era that he's in, that I came into light and started going crazy, that these kids love me. They don't really know who Nas is. If he's 22, he's born in 03.
Not all of them, some of them know. But
you know what I mean?
A lot of them know.
Yes.
But it's the era.
Some music.
No,
some kids that.
No, I love that.
There's some kids that love hip hop.
20, so I mean,
but your kid, he's. Then check everybody else's track record. Then go to the billboards and check all my entries. Then check all them entries and like that. And I'm not taking nothing away from nobody, but I hear the comparisons and then be trying to act funny when it comes. No, I've been spanking a lot of this. I'm talking about the industry. I've been putting on. So let's not get into that where we get into numbers and I gotta show you the statistics of what I've done. You heard to what other people was done. You heard them. You want to go to the billboard entries, pull up Nas billboard entries, then pull up my billboard entries.
Listen,
Jim Jones has 3 albums that went top 10, and he has 9 albums that charted on the Billboard 200. Nas, on the other hand, has 16 albums that have charted top 10 and 24 albums that have charted on the Billboard 200. This isn't even a conversation, and we're using the metric that you told us to use. I am confusion, bro. What is even going on right now, bro?
I want to know what weed he smoked, because I need that for me to feel that great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having confidence, but for me to feel that great about myself and forget that you only came out. Cameron probably got more hits than Jim.
Yeah, I would say that.
I mean, he does, and I'm just saying he got more hits than Jim. So if you talking about now, if somebody was trying to compare you to Cam, you have a better shot with that. But Nas, I mean, not even with that either. That's like the same. First of all, these young people need to get the fuck out the industry. No disrespect to anybody. I'm not talking about all young people, but need to get the fuck, because it's the second time y'all try to compare Jim Jones to sort of the last person was Styles P. Do y'all niggas need to get slapped Styles P?
Oh, he said he better than Pusha T. He said he better than Styles P. Now all of a sudden he better than Nas. Now my thing is
Maybe
this.
it's relevancy. Maybe he's thinking of terms of relevancy.
Who the
Maybe
fuck
that's what
dresses
Always.
like him?
Jim
he's
Jones.
talking about it.
Jim
Maybe that's what it
Jones.
is.
Always. Jim
Maybe
Jones
it's
has
just relevant.
always found a way to try to stay relevant. He's always tried to find a way to keep his name circulating some way, somehow. Always. That's been historically, even from when Cam came out with the pink and all that. It was Capo the one that kept bringing attention to that. He was always the one on the marketing shit, and always the one that was trying to push everything forward. So
Max,
I get that part of it, but now, right?
Max
To
B
say-
went to jail for Jim Jones to walk.
Max B, yo, shout out to Max B, man. He'll be home soon. Shout out to his baby moms, Denny. Yo, what up, Denny? And he's wild cool, man. But at the end of the day, Capo, him saying that his son doesn't know any Nas records, it's not the flex he thinks it is. That's number one.
Yeah.
Because my son is 15 and my son knows plenty of Nas records. From Illmatic all the way up to King's Disease that recently dropped. He dropped 3 of those. So Nas has been relevant this entire time. For you to say that the kids don't know Nazir is wild. And even if
I mean, it's
for whatever
definitely
reason,
possible.
maybe and his son and his son's friends or whatever, I get it. If any of y'all even saw anything that went on at Summer Jam, shout out to Ski though. Shout out to Ski, shout out to Dice. Y'all did your thing. And the festival part of it. Yo, KB, nobody even knows on the way to church is dropped. Like,
first of all, that and then
bro.
Wait, two things. Just Joey wanted to know, is that a goblet that you have? He wanted to know
cauldron. It's a cauldron.
okay.
It's a cauldron.
Right. Then two, first of all, if any real hip hop, if you a real hip hop head, like you truly, honestly, like the 50 years of hip hop, you cannot say you know the 50 years of hip hop and not mention anybody from Queens, especially not Nas. If you a true hip hop person, you got to understand Queens had an era. They still Queens has an era. You had a lot of the greatest rappers came out of Queens, from Nas, from Prodigy. You know what I'm saying? You had Noriega. No, you had a couple of people that came out, and then they had the beef that Queensbridge versus the the Bronx and Queens. They had that whatever like that. So you can LL Cool J. You had 50.
Bravehearts, G
You know what I'm saying?
Unit.
Right. You had G. Right. You had so many people. So for you to be a true hip hop head, and that's with anybody. Even if you in Wu-Tang, anybody from any borough, every borough rapper know about Queens rappers. So, and then Nas set a bar because the way that his style that he was rapping, you ain't gonna sit here and say people was rapping like Cameron in Harlem. Nobody was really rapping like how he was rapping to a certain extent. Same thing with Nas. They set a bar, Prodigy in them. Same thing, whatever like that. So you cannot say you a true hip hop head and you're gonna take the Queens era out. Get the fuck out of here.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all. The shit that Mr. Jones was saying at the age of 13 or whatever the hell the age was when he wrote Illmatic, I didn't even comprehend that shit until I was in my mid-20s. Like, that nigga so ahead of his time lyrically. Like, leave that man alone.
Lil Wayne saw more than Jim Jones. You talking about?
Not
You
Weezy.
say that.
Some of these YNs that's out right now sold more than Jim Jones. Get out of here.
Yeah, like it's wild.
Give me an epic lyric. Give me an epic bar from Jim Jones.
We fly high. No.
Oh, come on. No.
Did he write that?
That's all he got.
Did he write it?
Anyway, Jim Capo ain't got nothing, bro. Capo
Did he write it? So that ain't his bar.
Like,
I mean, it's not bad, but like I said, relevancy. It's it's relevant. You know it. That's about it. That's as far as you're gonna go with it.
But then, right? Then he went into this.
I think there's a thing as dressing your age. I think there's a thing as dressing your wage.
Here we go.
Yeah. I dress wage appropriate, not age appropriate.
Explain that.
Hello.
Explain that for the people that don't understand the difference between age and wage.
Shit, if you don't know the difference between age and wage, then you out the loop, nigga. That's pretty simple. I mean, but for the most part, I dress how I feel, man. When it comes to fashion, it's all about who you are, man. It's all about your personality, what makes you feel good, what makes you feel confident, what makes you feel fly, and that's all I've been doing. I haven't been doing anything too special. I got a different aesthetic than most people and things like that, and it kind of connected to the masses and things like that, but I haven't done nothing different than what I've seen outside on the street corners from the hustlers and
I mean
that nigga still what? When he came out, he was like 20 something when he came out?
Yeah.
You dress like an old young nigga. Shut the fuck up.
Oh shit. Yo, Bam said you dressed like a old young
Come on,
nigga.
come on,
Shut
come
the
on,
fuck
wait.
up.
Come on, Gutter. Don't act like you don't know the old young niggas. You got the one that
Yeah,
that's still yeah, that the no, but you seen other ones besides him, you see other ones that be like, yeah, yo, I still got it. I can still talk to these young things and I'm looking for no. There's a difference,
Yeah,
it's
boy,
called
go
maturity
sit down.
because when you get a certain age, you
Yeah.
can talk about what your wage is. We don't know your wage. Like looking at how you dress, you're not dressing your wage because the stuff that you wear is regular stuff. So
Yeah.
don't talk about you dressing your wage. You're wearing regular stuff, a freaking orange bucket hat, a jacket, and a pair of shorts. You can go anywhere to get that. You can go right to a store that it's not like it's name brand. If it is name brand, you could have put the patch on there. I used to make clothes, trust me. I used to work at a print shop. So I know people that can put patches and put the stitch because the stitch machines, because I used to do that on hats to make people think that you're buying this. We don't know if that chain you got on is real because there's stuff called rented jewelry. So it's about dressing what your wage is. Get out of here. Like, and everybody know the main person that be in certain places, you dressing in all this diamonds and gold and you're out in the open and you walking down the street with no security or whatever like that. None of the stuff you got on is real. None of
My
it.
thing is, you know what's crazy? All he showed me is that he's still broke. That's it. That's all he showed me. Because the people that I know that dress wage appropriate, right, will have a plain white T-shirt on.
Yeah.
That's $500, right? But with a nice tailored suit. Okay.
They watch. Most people that I know, they watch.
The watch is going to be the
That's
most
where the
expensive.
money is. The watch is always the most expensive.
Or they shades, like they wear glasses. You see it in their frames. It's simple shit like they cufflinks. If they wear suits, you see in their cufflinks.
They don't
How
wear
they put the
jewelry
feather
like
in
that.
whatever. They hats.
They don't rock all these chains. They don't rock all these bust downs. They don't do none of that.
You wouldn't know.
None of that. You wouldn't even know. Because you have to be of a certain wage to identify that wage.
Yeah.
And Capo is not that. But let's take a listen to this.
Will no longer let me pursue my hobbies.
Oh my, I feel them.
Bye, Maurice. It's exactly as the title implies. She says I'm not allowed to pursue my own hobbies anymore as they are quote unquote unhealthy. Before our marriage 7 months ago, I was interested in all sorts of things. Playing video games for at least a few hours a week, collecting Star Wars figures. Some may say that was a bit childish anyways, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. Painting war hammers, 40K, etc. These are things that I have done since my early teens. My wife wanted us to make healthy lifestyle changes after our marriage, which at first I took as just eating healthier, exercising, etc. I was totally on board for it. Everything was fine until I went down to the basement one day and noticed that all of my Star Wars figures had been gone from the display shelf. All that remained were some limbs from a few of the figurines. My wife was at work, so I sent her a text asking what happened to them. In the meantime, I rummaged through all of the garbage, and I finally found the figures in a bigger garbage next to our regular garbage.
Oh no.
Oh,
Wow.
she gotta die.
Oh,
Nah, divorce.
Nah.
She gotta die. That's divorce. She gotta die. That's divorce.
Immediately.
Bitch, you threw
Just
away
send
my
the
money.
papers.
Oh.
No, like, first of all,
God, you gotta die. Like you lucky I ain't put you in your face. I ain't pull it to your job and choke the shit out of you. You gotta die. You gotta die. Oh my God. Yo,
go.
first of all, I love my husband. I love my husband. But if I already this stuff you gotta talk about before marriage even happens, right? And that shit should have been fully discussed about, oh yeah, healthier life choices. When you talk about a healthier life choice, you better be talking about maybe eating a motherfucking salad together, motherfucker, because guess what? My Funko Pops come back with me, especially they wrapped up and in passing, and you didn't even put them in a garage, box them up nicely. Bitch, you threw my shit in the fucking garbage. Oh, you gotta die. You dead bitch. You's a dead bitch.
But yo, but the video, right? So the
That's
video
terrible.
stemmed.
That's just as bad as you erasing my game off. And if I make money on 2K and you erase my video game, bitch, you gotta die there too. I make money off of that, you gotta die.
So if the topic, right, is should you be able to keep your hobbies once you get married, right?
Absolutely.
And furthermore, right, any habits, any hobbies should be fully discussed before marriage. Like, if you have a Call of Duty addiction, your wife, your husband should know that. Because the thing is, if you have insomnia over playing these games and you up till 6 o'clock in the morning, y'all not even fucking because you just in the game. Like, wife or husband should know that. Because let's not act like it's only the fathers that play video games. I know plenty of female gamers. So now, I believe that nobody should have to change anything about themselves when they get married. Now, let me explain. The version of yourself that you turn into before marriage should be the final form that y'all both agree upon that y'all gonna be together, and that's it. You grow from there. All of this changing yourself and adapting to people, and that's not true love then. So why you gotta change all of this if you truly love somebody? Now, if you make certain changes, but to change, fully change, I'm not with that. So now, what are y'all thoughts on? Should you be able to keep your hobbies? And what are y'all limits personally on a hobby that to y'all is kind of like fuck out of here? No, you either you change that or we're not getting married.
Okay, I think you should keep your hobbies. I don't think your hobbies should change. I mean, you were dating this person for XY amount of time before you got married and you still had your hobbies. It wasn't a problem then. So why is it now once you get married it becomes a problem? The only hobby that would be a automatic dismissal for me would be porn. Because no, that after a while, like, okay, it seems like you're more invested in that than our relationship. So maybe that's where you should be. I think that's the only hobby that I'll be like, absolutely not. Like, no.
But what if he watches like here and there?
I mean, here and there is fine, but then when does here and there become an addiction?
I don't know. I'm not into porn.
When it comes to addiction, it comes an addiction where he rather like you gotta be in that. I guess
you rather beat the meat than beat
Yeah, he rather just touch himself. Like he
Exactly.
gets
Than
off,
to
and
touch
then the
you.
That's
only way
wild.
he would do something with you is if it's on in the background. If that's the
Exactly.
only
Like
time.
that's why like
Now
if
that's
porn
wild.
is your thing.
So you're not into the person at all then, because you have to have this fantasy up to be into the person. Like that's wild.
Yeah, like that's just I just always thought it was weird. That's why like even if you have an inkling of porn or you watch it frequently or once in the blue I guess is fine, but if it's something that you gotta have, I don't want no parts. I'm not competing with people that don't know me. You said something about you
I'm not
said
competing
something
with people that don't know me. That's funny.
you said something about once you get married that's your final form, and I find that it's like, why is it once you get married all of a sudden that's your final form? Like, why do we have to decide that once you're married, yep, this is it, this is who you are, you have become who you
No,
are?
but not final in the sense of you stop growing, because that's when you're dead. What I mean by final form is meaning the final form of whatever the final form of your single version is, because then you grow together. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by that. Meaning
Okay.
that if you have to change anything drastically, like that's
Yeah.
crazy. Like that's wild. Why you change it like that? This is my single final form. That's what I meant by that.
I mean, unless it's unhealthy.
Yeah, I mean, if you wildly obese and I'm trying to get you on this freaking health journey with me, and you still want to fucking eat 5 burgers a day, then you're gonna have to stay single, boo boo, because this is not gonna work for me. My
I never
insurance
understood
don't want
that.
all these blocked arteries. No.
Yeah, like 600-pound life. These people are never single. They
Never
always got
single.
somebody feeding their ass. And I'm like,
Every
and they're just
single
like, I
one.
can't stop. They be having like 20 pancakes. Like, you know how much eggs that could possibly be?
Well,
20
they got
pancakes.
money. They got about our goddamn
Where they
food
getting
on.
the money? Where they getting the money? Where they getting the money?
That's
They
a
don't
fact. None
work.
of them work.
Where they getting the money?
Maybe
Even
they
the single
study.
person that's
Food
taking
stamps?
care of them don't work. Where they
Wait,
getting the
hold on.
funds?
Is there an age? Is there a weight limit on the amount of stamps you get? Like if you weigh more than 400, you get more than 400.
No, I think with certain people is I know for a fact sometimes people do studies on people, and if they part of a study group like obesity, certain groups where you can't like whatever, like how like I was just talking about, certain places are study groups, and they would actually pay you to eat in certain things and certain health. If you got like certain type of things that's going with your lip notes and everything else, they pay you, and
That's
overpay
wild.
you for that. You got people that get paid for certain studies, medical studies, and certain things. Like I saw it on a train when I was in New York, and they had, do you know the difference if you got do you know the difference between these bags? They had a fentanyl bag, a crack, and coke or some shit, and we can do a study. If you addicted, we can,
That's
There's
wild.
studies. So people would
You
literally
get fat to
join
eat.
a study and do whatever, and they give them free some of this stuff just to see how they react and whatever. That's why you think how we know certain things, how we know how crackheads and certain people act to certain drugs, because there's people that they pay to use these
that's a
drugs on
fact.
purpose.
But yo,
That's
Coach,
crazy.
George says, listen to this. When a man marries a woman, it's because they love everything about them, just the way they are. And a woman marries a man with intentions to change him, then women change and men stay the same. What are your thoughts on that? Oh wait, Joe, you're wild. He said, insert fat bastard. I'm sad because I eat. I eat because I'm sad.
No, Joe is on one. I mean, but to answer your question, okay, yes, keep your hobbies as long as you ain't doing nothing like OD crazy. Like if your hobby is, you like Nas, but you like throwing them shits around the house. Nah, we're not playing. I'm not gonna be a walking target. That's not happening. You better get your motherfucking target, not me or whatever. Certain things. As long as they ain't, messing up our health and our sex life, I'm alright with that. I believe that when you do get married, there is certain things that each person kind of changes and adapts to, but you start doing that in the dating phase, and when you're in a relationship, and even when you become a fiance, there's certain levels and everything else, because before you make it to marriage, there's certain things that certain kinks or whatever. Because when y'all first start, you're single, he's single, and blah blah blah. Y'all still learning how to deal with each other. You won't know how a person
Yeah,
is once you live with them. So you seen the
that's
certain little
true.
habits and everything else. Okay, yeah. You know what? I know my husband. He gets up. He stretches a certain way. So he does this at a particular time all the time. All right. Okay. Cool. Is it something that it took me some time to get used to? It did. I was like,
Mm,
what the hell? Like, I'm like, what the hell? Like, whatever, like that. But it's understandable. You know what? Like, once couple of times I woke up and he's chewing garlic, not garlic, freaking ginger. I'm like, what the is in your mouth?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Certain things, you see, you learn the person eventually and whatever like that. Now, if it's something that's unhealthy or something that whatever that that's harmful to your partner or significant other, then yeah, eventually if y'all trying to work together, you're gonna have to either compromise or try to work something out to change something. And that's on both ends, both parties. Like, he's used to being a single man, I'm used to being a single woman. Now we live with each other. So, motherfucker, I might be like, I don't have to argue about putting the toilet seat up and down. I don't have to argue that. Put the cap on the motherfucking toothpaste. Certain shit, you do or whatever like that. It's little simple things. Now, when it comes to that's your cousin, right, Jay?
Huh?
That was your cousin that made the statement, right?
Oh, George, no, that's coach. That's my
Oh, hey, coach.
basketball
What's
coach.
up?
But no. So listen,
It's different.
so no, 'cause he's saying that to answer the question, but coach, he answered the topic. We had a topic first, then you said something. So now he's going to answer what you said.
Yeah.
He didn't stay on the topic. We had a topic. That was the topic. But go ahead.
Yeah. So, but to answer your question, to answer your statement, I believe that there are. I agree that there are women who do come in a relationship to try to change the man, not realizing or not paying attention to, like, yo, this is what you like, and if you're trying to be with this man, this is what attracted you to this person. Don't try to come in to try to change a person. That's with anybody. Don't come in automatically, think, be together, I'm going to change him or I'm going to change her. No. Y'all have to come with that mindset already. So willing to work together to be, as one, because when you're married, it's not a partnership. Y'all become one. You know what I'm saying? So y'all work, y'all come together. So y'all, it's not like we changing whatever each other. Oh yeah, I'm telling you change. No, you do it on your own automatically, especially if you want something to work out.
mhm.
Jessica, what do you think about the statement that Coach George made?
I don't think anybody wants to change anybody. I think what happens is a person just automatically changes because they want to, or they're just like, well, you could do this better, and it's not necessarily changing. It's like there's a better way to do it. Here it is, and the person either accepts it or doesn't. It could be anything. It could be like a way that they make their bed, a way they brush their teeth, a way they tie their shoes. It could be the simplest of things. They'd be like, there's a better way to do it. Here's the better way. Not necessarily wanting to change the person. I don't think anybody wants to change anybody because it's too exhausting. It takes up too much of your energy. And it's just like, after a while, it's like, you know what? I really don't like this, but here's the better way. Try it. You don't try it, no harm, no foul. But what happens is people end up changing and they're like, and then they switch on the person and then they say, well, you changed me. No, I showed you a better way. You accepted the program. Nobody changed you. Nobody forced you. You just liked a better program, but want to blame me because it worked. And you feel like someone forced something on you when they really didn't. They just gave you an option and you accepted it.
You want to know what's crazy?
I don't think it's a pretending.
Someone that I've known this couple since second grade. We all went to school together, starting in second grade. We was in the same class together, second, third, fourth, fifth, all through junior high school, all through high school. Shout out to Jeff, shout out to Nilda. They do watch the show as well. So now, right? They started dating. Yo, Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong. When you do watch it, put it in the comment. But I believe we were in sixth grade. They're still together to this day. Okay. They have 2 kids, and neither one of them changed in any way, shape, or form. Those are the same 2 people that I knew from back then. Now, what they did was they became, from what I see, the best version of themselves. They grew together, but they still the same people. Like the core elements of who they were is who they are. That is one example that I have personally in my life of a woman that didn't switch up. My boy didn't switch up. So
But see,
I can't,
coach,
you know.
coach don't agree because he said that like with the person. I mean, like what Saucy said too, and I
Oh
said.
wait, hold on. Put it up. Hold on. Let me see. Because even though the comments come up, we can actually highlight some. So Coach said, I don't agree, Bam and Jay. If you don't really know the person before you get married, it's either you didn't give the relationship time or someone was acting during the date process.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Yeah, but you again.
Then he says, I don't think they just changed. I think it's that they were pretending to be someone else during the dating time. And so she says, at George, I agree with you. And I also agree with Bam. You don't know a person until you live with them. That's when the Representative Max truly comes off. Now we're talking. Because here's the thing, right? If, let's take Jeff another out, right? And they just say people that met already as adults, right? To me, okay, everybody is different. The way everybody learns each other, whatever, is different, okay? I don't think you should marry someone without going on a week's vacation with them, going on a long distance drive with them, and I'm talking about several, okay? Living with them. If you don't do at least those 3 things to see what their cleaning habits are, what the little ticks are, on top of the fact that people change based on if the money is good, if the money is not good, because then that economical part of things makes people act a certain way as well. Because when the money is flowing, it's a whole different ballgame than when the money is not flowing. You start seeing different versions of people when the economics come into play.
That, and you start seeing that, you're right when it comes to that. But then also, that also shows too, you also learn more about if you really want this type of relationship that you want, especially when it comes to a marriage. You know that everything ain't gonna be always, they always got the honeymoon stage, and then you also got all the different things, whatever, like that. If you really,
Bam,
really, truly want to be with this
hold that
person,
thought.
you would do that.
Hold that thought, Bam. Think about this, right? Think about this. How do you truly know someone? How do you truly know somebody's not gonna try to beat the shit out of you when they're in a bad mood or going through bankruptcy or some dumb shit without going through those stressors with them? Because the way somebody acts with you, right, is different than when they go into some real life shit. Unless you go through those things, you don't know if somebody's gonna put their hands on you either. Go ahead, man.
No, I was basically kind of almost saying what you're gonna say. It's like, sorry, y'all. That's my cat son. If you heard the meow. It's like, like you said, you really don't know a person when it comes to that. But it also shows your longevity. Because if it's something that could be worked out, financials, you know what I'm saying? If y'all talk, y'all communicate, it's something as simple as financials could break y'all up. That means certain conversations have to be talked about before. You know what I'm saying? You always got to talk about the what ifs or whatever like that and everything else. Like, for example, like with my husband, he works, he takes care of the, the bills. If something was to happen, you know what I'm saying? If I need to go back to work or need to whatever like that, I'll have no problem doing that. You feel me? Or there's something else, whatever like that. But some people are quick to leave. Oh yeah, this is wrong, or maybe everything could still be good paying the bills, but just because he don't take you out to eat like how he or she used to, oh my gosh, the relationship is horrible. No, it's more than just relationship. It's something simple as that. If he's paying the bills and you want to go out to eat, then you pay to go out to eat if you have the money or whatever like that. Y'all can try to work something out. Nowadays, people don't, they leave for the most dumbest things and dumbest reasons and everything else. And then, a lot of things don't make sense. But it also shows the mental state and the mind state. Sometimes arguing, everybody's going to argue. But how y'all argue and everything else, if you're just going to leave off just one argument, then, maybe that might not be the person for you. Maybe not. It's something I got to work out. Huh?
I said, how solid was it at that point, right?
Right.
Because if you don't want to be a team and be together and be united and it be 100-100, not everybody think of 50-50. It's how about everybody gives 100% of themselves, of their true self, and
right?
Be transparent, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and a lot of women don't know how to
let
men lead too. You know what I mean?
True.
Men are providers. Men are protectors. That's what men are. You know what I'm saying? And then you have a lot of, they're supposed to be. You know what I mean? And those that are raised right are always trying to be that. But the thing is, you have to also be strong enough to comprehend the fact that a lot of strong women out here are not allowing you to let you lead because you haven't shown them enough yet. And they've had to be so strong for so long and hold everything down on their own that you can't come over here with some tomfoolery and just expect us to just blindly lead, let you lead. Nigga, she's just not. You know what I'm saying? So at some point we gotta get to a point of better understanding. But did y'all hear about how men don't like single women, even they the nigga that made them single women, single mothers?
Wait, what?
You can't make this shit up. Sounds crazy, right? Take a listen.
Men, and this might sound crazy, who would get a woman pregnant, and because he got her pregnant, he just lost respect for the woman he just got pregnant.
What men are these? Now you know what?
Yeah.
When you first said it, I said, "What the fuck is he talking about?" But now that I thought about it, that man said he don't like single moms, even the ones he created. I do believe that exists. I liked you as a girlfriend. I liked you when you had all your time for me. I liked when I was prioritized. I liked when we can just make a trip and go to Cabo whenever we wanted. I liked you when your body looked like this. And now that you had this child, you are no longer what I liked. And if that wasn't the truth, why are there so many men choosing not to be with the mother of their children?
Almost every relationship ends before the child is one. If you just think about in all of our lives, most relationships end because the woman ended up having a baby. It goes back to a man not necessarily understanding what is actually happening. You have a baby, you'll have postpartum depression. If a man never had a kid, he's just like, yo, what's wrong with you? And she could turn around and have postpartum depression for a whole year. He's just like, yo, like you just said, you're not the same woman anymore. And she's like, duh, I just had a baby.
And lastly, when a woman has a baby, a man also has to grieve the fact that he just lost his source of love. So if he's already love deprived, and now all of the love that he was getting is going to a baby, now he doesn't know how to love himself. Now you see that you have a man that is emotionally void.
He sounds fucking selfish. So you gonna love me? You fucking selfish. So because the baby is getting a particular part of me that you ain't getting, it's not like you ain't getting it, but because the baby is taking up my time, you gotta die. That's it.
You gotta
die.
And it's a baby you made at that. Like you put the baby there.
Baby. Oh, take your name off the birth certificate. You gotta die.
You put the baby there.
That is wild. No, that was.
They
Mommy,
just
what
forget
happened
that?
to Dad? I don't know, baby. He died.
Do they just forget that at the end of the day, you made her pregnant? Like you did that though. It's not like she just woke up. Here it is. You put it in there.
Especially if you planned this shit.
You put it in there. At the end of the day.
Especially, I'm going to shoot up all up in the club. We going to name Junior A, B, and C.
Nah, listen.
At the end of the day, the beginning of the hour, you put it in there.
You're going to leave me all
like yourself.
Nah. When I said I was going to shoot up the club, I was talking about Call of Duty. You made it sexual. And then I
No. You sat here. We're gonna name Junior, and we're gonna name the princess, and we sat there and did baby names together and everything else and shit like that.
Dirty.
You did all that, and then after I have the baby, you're gonna be like, baby, I ain't attracted to you no more because now the baby on the nipple more than me. Fuck you.
Hold on. Coach has a question. Hold on. He said, Jay, how about women that marry a man because they love the way they are, the values and morals, but when men try to teach the same to their children, they are not allowed because women want to control.
If you're married to her, she has no fucking choice to let you lead the children in a way.
Yeah.
Because you're married to her. You are the leader. If she's the only way that she can't really tell you, she can nurture the kid, but you're married to her. So you take your son or your kid, y'all in the same household. What else she's gonna do with them? Y'all in the same household.
Exactly.
She's gonna tell you, oh no, you cannot take the baby. What the fuck?
Like, stop it.
No disrespect is giving beta.
I mean, really, like what?
But yo, Saucy said most men do leave because they are no longer attractive to them. Ooh.
I mean, at the end of the day, the beginning of the hour, you put the baby there. Well, why are we missing that crucial fact? No, you're not attracted. You're not attracted to what you just did. You're not attracted to what you just did. I didn't do it. You did it. But now you ain't attracted anymore?
Right, and I agree with my husband. Said most men ain't leaving because of that part. I agree with my husband. Most men ain't leaving because of how she looked. A lot of guys that I could honestly say too probably left. They probably didn't even want the baby from the jump.
I don't believe that either.
But you're supposed to wrap it up too, or bitch fit on birth control or whatever like that. But
that's
I don't
what irks me. That was jams my jammies.
That's what jam my jammies. Yo, what would y'all do in this situation?
All right, here we go again. It says, imagine being in a threesome and your man nuts and the other girl. What you doing? What you doing? You done chose to try something new. You want to have a threesome with your guy and all that, and then he ends up nutting in the other girl. You wasn't even expecting this shit. You wasn't even thinking about that. You just thinking, all right, little threesome vibes, but you ain't think as far as the nigga actually busting her shit. Now your head fucked up. You like, wait, hold on, what just happened? You confused and shit. You don't even know if she taking birth control. You don't know. Now you gotta ask questions and all that. Now you feeling some type of way, like, hold on, he was supposed to do that for you type shit.
So, wait, KV says, how do men leave for that reason where fat girls have kids too? Cut it out. Stupid. Yo, KV has no chill. Yo, what y'all doing? Y'all finally giving, right? You have the trizzy. Your man don't busted in the other female.
Well, I guess the relationship is over at that point. I'm out of here. Y'all have fun with that.
She said, I'm out of here.
Good night.
Yo, not the good night.
Get home safe.
On. Wait. George says, Bam and Jay, the truth is the nucleus of the family in America is destroyed. This is a fact. That's why married couple are the minority and most households have one parent.
Oh.
I'm gonna say what I said earlier: is no disrespect is giving beta.
Listen,
I stand what I stand. Like I said, no disrespect is giving beta. Sounds like you let the woman lead the household, but again, I digress.
KV says you gotta make it make sense, family.
But to answer your question, first of all, that right there would not happen. And the only way my husband is nutting in another female, that means we add her to the team and we trying to make this baby thing together.
I was about to say, why are they even hitting it raw?
I mean, the only way that's going to happen is if I'm like, hey, we keeping her. She's gonna be my sister wife, and we gonna raise these babies together. You know what I'm saying? I got my baby, and then you're gonna add it to the sister wife or whatever. Like, that's the only way that my husband is nothing in any other bitch. That's the only way.
I don't see any
Even though he
issue
won't
with
even do that, but still, that's the
See
only
no issue. Oh, wow.
It's the only way.
Okay.
But even though I don't see him doing that, but
Yes,
still.
Miss Beverly Hills, what's up? What are your thoughts?
I said I'm out of there. I was like, well, I guess I got eliminated because I'm not dealing with that. I wouldn't even do a threesome. But if that ever happened, well, I got eliminated and I accept defeat, and y'all go have this child or whatever is to come.
So, Jessica,
You ain't hear what she
how
said
about this?
tonight?
So let's end the show with this. What do you think about this comment here? George said to me and Bam, right, that the truth is the nucleus of the family in America is destroyed. This is a fact.
Definitely.
That's why married couples are the minority, and most households have one parent.
Yes, it's definitely true. It's true.
It's true. I don't deny that.
What pisses me off is that we accept it though. Like, you don't have to accept this.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with having a 2-parent household. It's not corny. It's not the dad being a square. It's perfectly healthy. Black people are the only race that has this issue with, oh my gosh, we can't have 2 parents in the household. Why not?
Yo, nah.
What is wrong with that?
You were privileged because you have both. Like, that's supposed
What
to be
is
the
wrong with
norm.
that? That is not a privilege. That is actually what you said, the norm, and that's okay.
Right.
It's okay to have your corny dad and your like spaz mom. There's nothing wrong with that. Y'all are healthy. Y'all have food on the table, and y'all are connected. There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't think I don't think it's the norm though. I don't think it's the norm because I feel that it's not the norm because it's the narrative that's put out there. Because even though, like I said, I didn't have a 2-family household, right? But my husband did. You know what I'm saying? My husband had a 2-family household. And I know other people that have 2-family households and stuff like that. I know a lot of people growing up that had 2-family households. So I think the narrative that they put out there, that the black man is not there or whatever like that, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but the narrative that where a lot of us is not raised in 2-family households, I think that's the narrative they putting out there. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing about need to change the narrative. But then we also got to understand that in a lot of these situations too, is people trying to change people in the situation. Like you got it where, you know, men are complaining about females. Oh, this female don't want to listen. This female don't whatever. If that bitch don't want to listen, then go on to a bitch that actually wants to listen. Don't sit there and be like, oh, bitches
Exactly.
ain't this, bitches ain't
So
that.
what? Move on. It's okay.
You the man. You the leader. Go find this. If this bitch don't listen, there's another bitch that will. But the thing about it is, the bitch that y'all want, or it's a particular bitch in the thing that y'all want, and that bitch ain't listening. So maybe go to a bitch that listens then. Same thing with females. You got females out here because they're not the same way that people understand how y'all want these certain females and shit like that and everything else. Y'all not teaching your daughters this. A lot of females ain't teaching their sons, oh yeah, you know what? Don't just go after a bitch. Make sure she got her whatever, but then y'all out here begging. Walking contradictions. So at the end of the day, men, if a bitch don't fucking listen and you gotta force her to fucking listen, that is a difference if y'all just had a moment, a tip of tantrum or whatever. But if you got a certain thing in your life that you're trying to do, like literally before you marry this bitch, if she don't want to fucking do it, don't force it on her. Move on.
Pretty much.
Stop complaining about bitches because now y'all being bitches complaining about bitches. Bitch ass nigga.
Hold on, Baz. So George says BAM is the narrative, but for minorities, the stats drastically change when it's one parent versus two, and the opportunities are much more when two parents' education, career, and successful marriage depends. So now, right, depends a lot on the household and experience as a child, what you witnessed at home, and the lessons you learn as a child. You learn how to treat a woman and a man based on what you see at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
We agree with that. We definitely agree with that. But matter of fact, hold on. I had a where did it go? Listen, I don't know which one of y'all let this badass kid drink the daiquiri or whatever.
Oh boy.
The little veteran drank the daiquiri and got in the car from yesterday. But she took her ass to school. She's showing up. Showing up. Hey. He said, yo, why that little girl drink that daiquiri though?
The fact that she put it on social media called CPS.
Child endangerment.
First of all, why would you bring the child to school the next day?
Not only that, why would you put that on the
it up
internet?
there? Right. I agree with Jeff.
And I hope that was something that happened 10 years ago, and they just now posted it, and the little girl like
Word, do not let that happen today, because it's over. You will not see that child ever again in your life.
Oh boy.
You saw what it did to that little girl, Miss Shirley, the one that be doing the wear the fans. Somebody called CPS.
Oh my God. Yeah, they did.
CPS on her mama.
On her mom.
Listen, I'm sorry, but I will call CPS just on her looks alone.
Where the fans at?
Poor thing. It was cute until she started throwing her hip. I was like, excuse me, miss, what are you doing? Why are you throwing your hip?
Like, I don't believe
it's fine. You do not have to throw your hip. You don't even know what that is.
Like even when it comes to kids pageants, I don't even agree with that shit either. Kids pageants with all that makeup and all them outfits. There's nothing wrong wearing a cute, little baby outfit, little girl outfit, but putting all that makeup and everything else, I don't even agree with pageants. I feel like that you promoting your kid for sex. I'm sorry. I just.
Yo, one thing I hate is seeing a little girl dressed like a grown-ass woman. Like, that shit, like, yo, don't just know. Just know. It should be appropriate to their age. Like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing all that makeup. We're not doing that posting them with filters and they're 6 months old. Like, yo, fucking stop. All your fucking insecurities, keep them to your fucking self. Don't project them shit on the kids. Oh, your whole shit, don't project this shit on the kids. Don't have the kids out here with fucking thong pampers and shit. Like, the fuck is going on?
Now, don't get me wrong. As a kid, did I play in my mom's makeup and shoes? Yes. Keyword, in the house. It wasn't posted.
A lot of boys.
It wasn't posted. It's my mom. It wasn't posted. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When I wore my mother, I dressed up because, my mom was like my my size Barbie growing up. Because, they didn't have a my size Barbie and that was black back in the day. She was always white. So my mom had to do when mom was singing. Right, when my mom was singing and doing her shows, when she was doing music and stuff like that, I used to wear my mom's cute little long gown dresses with the glitter, because my mom had a thing for glitter, and with the glitter and everything else and stuff like that. So now the long, shimmery, long, beautiful gown. They look like glamour, like you going to what's that? Like the Met Gala, long. They were cute gowns. They were like ballroom gowns she had. They were very, very beautiful and everything else. So did I? Yeah, I did.
Yo, our little ass Bam walking around the hallway. The dress is all the way on the other side of the hallway and shit. Bam like 2 feet tall, trying to wear the goddamn ball gown. Her mama about to whoop her ass, fucking up all her makeup and shit. Yo, Bam, why you telling your mama shit like that, Bam? What's going on? Where the fuck Bam go? The hell?
I think
KB says there's the reason why dudes be leaving. Nobody gotta be arguing about why that kind of shit is inappropriate to teach, do, and post. Facts. 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 Because why do I even have to tell you that shit is inappropriate? Like, why would you, as a mother, even want that? Listen, Yin and Yang the podcast, man, episode 80. Str8fromdagutta Network is sponsored by Sensational Smiles 845. You could catch them on IG, Sensational Smiles 845. It's all spelled correctly. Or catch them on 2 West Main Street, Middletown, New York, man. Yo, we out of here. Fam, just appreciate y'all. Good show.
Appreciate y'all.
Yo, the chat, y'all always lit. Saucy, KV, Joe, all of y'all, man.
Now, Joey was on a roll today.
Nah, Joey was on one. George.
George too. Shout out to Coach.
Yo, who else is in here? Jesus
Saucy
Christ.
too.
I'm not gonna keep scrolling. Saucy says KV, her parents post her pages, travel with her. Oh wow. Well,
allegedly her father dances with her too, allegedly. I think I think that's even worse. He said I know her father and teach her to hip, but he do the dance with her, so maybe
This nigga's hip thrusting with her?
I think he's doing the fans dance. I don't know.
You know what? We out of here on that note. Episode 80. We out, man. We're not doing this.